Good. So first we have to clean it up. What do I mean by cleaning it up? There is nothing I can do here. This is for now carved in stone. But here I have to simplify, and first I have to distribute negative 0.5 to these two terms. So I have, remember, you cannot subtract. I know it's tempting. Why you cannot subtract? Can anyone tell us why we cannot subtract?
Terms.
Because 0.5 is pulled by a stronger operation to the right-hand side. That's the reason why we cannot say 3 minus 0.5 is 2.5. Good. So we have 3 minus 0.5x minus 0.5 equals 5.3 minus 1.2x. Is this okay so far? We still have to clean it up. The negative 0.5x stays, but I have to perform this operation. 3 minus 0.5 is indeed 2.5. Now, and we're going to do this in one step. We're going to move this term here next to the other term with x, and this term here next to the other term that is so-called free term. Good. So careful, when I bring this term, it was negative here, but when I bring it over, it becomes positive. So from 1.2, I subtract 0.5, and I get 0.7 with positive. So this was negative. I bring it to the other side, it's positive. 1.2 minus 0.5 is 0.7. 0.7x equals. When I move the positive 2.5 to the other side, it becomes negative. So now I have 5.3 minus 2.5. 5 from 13 is 8. 2 from 4 is 2. And it's negative. It's positive, sorry. So this is 2.8. Great. Now I have to divide because the operation is multiplication. But here's how I'm going to divide. Both of them have a 1 decimal digit. You can multiply here both sides by 10 because 1 decimal digit, it only needs 10. So this is 28 divided by 7, which is 4. Is this true? I have no clue. It's super easy to check. Here is how we check. So the left-hand side, 3 minus 0.5, in parentheses, 4 plus 1 is 5. And the answer is whatever. The right-hand side is 5.3 and minus 1.2 times the answer that we just got, which is 4. When I click enter, if I don't get 0.5, 4 makes no sense. 4 is not the answer.
Yeah,
so I checked. The left-hand side equals 4. The right-hand side equals 4. The balance is not destroyed. It's kept perfectly in place with x equals 4. Excellent. Okay. So I said 21. The price of a jacket, including sales tax of 5%, is 45.15. This is a very important type of problem because they're trying to trip us. So 5%, so the result is 45.15. To find the price of P, solve the equation. So I need to explain this. They're just giving us something in there to solve. No. So 5% does not exist. If I tell you my car is 5%, you're going to say you lost your mind. 5% doesn't exist. But 5% of X exists. which is 0.05 multiplied by x. This is extremely important to understand. If somebody tells you 2%, just tell them that they know no algebra. But if they tell you, I have in my pocket 5% of what you have in your pocket, then you can say, yes, that is correct. So 5% of a price is added to the exact price. So to the price of the jacket, we are adding the sales tax. This is the sales tax. 5% of. Without of, it means nothing. So 0.05x. That's why one integer plus 0.05 is 1.05x. This, I cannot continue to the sides. This equals 45.15. And that's how I get x. Again, I want to purchase a jacket for, it says $10. But I have to pay 5% sales tax. So when I add the jacket price to the 5% of the jacket price, I combine like terms and I get 1.05x. This is what I end up paying at the cashiers. The thing is, they are not giving us that price. So to the price of whatever, we're adding the 5% tax, sales tax of the price of the jacket, not of the price of Elon Musk's mansion somewhere. So it's of the original price. That's how we determine the sales tax. And then when we combine these two, we get 1.05. And 1.05 equals 45.15. And of course, I'm going to divide both sides by 1.05. And yes, I'll multiply by 100. I'll simplify, yada, yada, yada. So, and I get the answer. So 45.15. And I divide this by 1.05. And I get the answer as 43. Is it true? I have no clue. I don't need anyone to tell me yes or no. I will be multiplying it by 1.05. Of course it is, and I will get 45.15 because that's how I got 43. Good. Let's see if there is anything else. Same idea, but let me know if you want me to. Okay. So a union recently agreed to a 2% cut in hourly wages. I hope that that's never the case. So this time, 2% cut in hourly wages is 2% of the hourly wage. So if the hourly wage is X, we subtract 0.02 of X. From $1 I subtract 2 cents and I get 0.98X. So from the original 1, I subtract 0.02 and I get 0.98X. This time we're going in the other direction. So to find the worker's age now, before the pay cut, solve the equation. Yes, W minus 0.02 W. So now they earn 20.58. So this is what it's 20.58. And yes, of course, we're going to divide both sides by 0.98. And that's the original. So 20.58. And it's divided by 0.98. So it was 21. And now it is 20.58. Good. Okay, they are giving us the equation from the very beginning. So they are giving us the other equation. Okay, so the final here, 2.9, is putting it all together. Okay, so it's real numbers and their properties, putting it all together. I don't think I can open the problems. I don't think the system allows me to open the problems on the learn. Yeah, if anyone can, probably you can. I removed all the restrictions.
You have to click the video first to pass.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. And then it allows me to?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent, thank you. So you should go slowly and carefully through all these problems from the review. So you tell me what you would like us to work on. The associative property, opposites, commutative, reciprocals, la la la. So x plus 5 equals 5 plus x.
Property of addition.
So this is the commutative property, yes, commutative property of addition. Good. Would you like to choose anything else from here? For example, number 6, the numbers negative 2/3 and negative 3/2, they are called
Inverses or reciprocals?
exactly. Good. What about negative 2/3 and 2/3?
Opposites?
Yep. Good. So please review each and every problem here. Yes, I got it. Which of the 4 arithmetic operations are not commutative? Addition, division, multiplication, and of course, division is the only one. Which of the 4 arithmetic operations are associative?
So that's multiplication and
All of them except division. Yes, perfect.
the other one.
Good. Evaluate. Is subtraction associative? Yes, it is. As long as you're careful when you regroup, you're careful with the signs. Yes, it is. So here, when you want to group now, you have to make sure that both of them are negative. So evaluate this and evaluate this. Is subtraction associative? Yes, as long as you're careful. As long as you're careful. So let's work on this problem. So here we have 27 minus 4 minus 3. They said evaluate this. Okay, fine. So let's evaluate it first. So in order to evaluate it, I will determine that this is 1. And then I have 27 minus 1, which is 26. Now, let's see the other one, and then conclude. Come on. Okay. 27 minus 4, and then minus 3. So these are not the same. Because, see, here, 4 is negative if you want to distribute. So if you rewrite this expression as 27 minus 4 plus 3, and negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1, and then 27, this will result in 26. But here, 3 is not positive. So this particular example, the associative rule, sorry about that, does not apply. because 27, they're not the same. See, this is not this. The negative 20, the negative 4 is correct, but the positive 3 is negative 3 here. So they're not the same. So 27 minus 4 is 23. 23 minus 3 is 20. So careful. If they're not the same, they're not the same. Okay? Use the commutative or associative properties to complete the statement. State which property is used. So 1 minus 16, you use the commutative of addition. Commutative or associative, of course. This is the commutative because you change the order. Okay, so this is a review of those properties at the beginning. Are we okay with this? Find both the opposite and the additive inverses and the reciprocal. So the opposite and the reciprocal of negative 15. So what is the opposite of negative 15? 15. What is the multiplicative inverse of negative 15? Negative 1 over 15, of course, of course. Same thing. What is the opposite of 1 over 8? The opposite is negative 1 over 8. And what is the multiplicative inverse?
8 over 1.
8 over 1. So what's with the media 2? Do I have to click on the media 2?
Yeah. You have to click on the pit, putting it together, and then you can close it.
Okay. Okay. Good. What about B? What would you say B and C are?
Undefined.
Perfect. Good. Okay. So a set is a well-defined collection of objects. Okay, a set. The objects in a set are called such and such. They're called terms. Terms or objects, entities or elements. Yeah, they're not called entities, they're called elements. That's the correct terminology. Okay, so what I want to do after you can do this on your own, what I want to do is I want to go over the test that I gave last semester. Test 1. Where is my test 1? Here is my test 1. Okay, I want us to go over this. So we know how to evaluate these, we know how to evaluate this, that's the same thing, you know, the commutative, we just talked about that, evaluate of the following, yes, that's not a big deal, represent this as a simplified fraction, I think it's okay, round each number to the nearest tenth, I think that's okay. You tell me if you want to go back to any of this, I just want to just give you a heads up of cab charges, we just did this a second ago. Perform the following calculations and clearly indicate that's fine. Simplify each of the following expressions. I think you have no issue with this. Solve each equation. I don't think you have any issue with this. I'm gonna send it to you right now, and you choose what you would like us to work on. I don't think you have any issues with this by any means. We just worked on exactly this problem. Evaluate each of the following. Simplify. You have no issues with this, you have no issues with this, you have no issues with it, nothing, nothing, nothing. So, I just want to send it to you right now. You open it. and you tell me what you would like to work on. If I can find my inbox. Okay, it's a Word file. Everyone can open it, I'm sure. As a practice, I'm attaching it right this moment. Test one, here it is. Everybody,
Where do we find this?
in the inbox, in Canvas. I have to put something in the address, and I have to put something in the message box. So please open it.